And hello, I am back. I am back. It's Friday evening and it is 10 p.m. in Southern California on February the 27th, 2026. And I just wanted to let you know that President has found a way to stay in power indefinitely, at least as long as he's alive. And that is with the formation of the Board of Peace that you see here on the screen. We currently have 28 participating nations, and let's see here. I wanted to prove it, for you, so that you can see this. We'll go over on X, where President Trump has officially made this announcement. But let me just with my little mouse here. I want to show you in Article 3.2. This is the official website. The Board of Peace was formed in January of this year, and Donald J. Trump is the chairman of the Board of Peace. So, with that, he is indefinitely in power. And so, I just wanted you to know, just in case you didn't know about this. This is a development, and I did a video, in January that has thousands of views on this because I figured it out. I was like, "Wow, wait a minute, President Trump he doesn't need a 3rd term." That's what I'm trying to say here. He is going to stay in power after 2028. And here we are seeing the official post on X. The official, logo has been made and they have a page now. We have a page with 182.6 thousand followers at the time of this video. It is a website, boardofpeace.org, and this all has been initiated really to rebuild Gaza. It is primarily about keeping peace, and as we scroll down, we see the White House posting that same picture that I originally had up with all the leaders, of course, with President Trump here in the very, dead center. This is President Trump here and all the other 27 other nations that have joined in. We see a missing Russia. We don't see China up in there. We do see them welcoming everybody that has joined. We have, like I said, there's 28 nations. I'm not going to go through every one of them. We have Israel, Vietnam, Uzbekistan, Emirates, Turkey, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Paraguay, Pakistan, Morocco, Mongolia, Kuwait, Kosovo, Kazakhstan, Jordan, Indonesia, and maybe I'm just gonna go through them all. Hungary, Egypt, El Salvador, Cambodia, because what we're gonna see is an absence of Russia, we're gonna see an absence of China, Bulgaria, Belarus, and it just goes on. So these are Argentina's in here, Armenia, and so we, are seeing developments, and this all did form back in the 22nd of January, but we've had so much news coming at us. You may have missed it. That's why I'm here to make sure that we see what is going on. And I want to also make mention here, make sure my mic is on. I want to make mention that I talk about what it is. It's a new international body created under the leadership of United States President Donald Trump. It was first proposed in late 2028. That was just a few months ago as part of the administrative's plan to help end the war in Gaza and rebuild the territory. It was formally established January the 22nd, 2026, when its funding charter was signed by Trump and a group of other countries at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. And it just seems like yesterday that it was January 22nd. And we saw President Trump out at the WEF signing, and that's what he was doing. At that time, I remember him saying he didn't know if he was gonna be chairman. He said that they want him to be. He has decided, "Yes, I will be chairman." And the BOP is intended to promote peacekeeping, stability, governance, and reconstruction in a conflict affected areas, starting with the Gaza Strip. So they're rebuilding that. And I wondered, how is all this different than the United Nations? How is this different from World Economic Forum? And I was, trying to dig into that, and it does appear that, President Trump has gotten as much out of, the Paris Agreement, climate agreement. He has had us go out of, I was trying to keep all this straight because we did leave. I thought we left the United Nations, and so I looked into it. We left some of their policies, like 66 policies that we pulled out of, and so there's, basically a structural difference of how this is set up, because the United Nations is more global governing framework, and the WEF is discussion and policy forum, but the Board of Peace is smaller and it's more mission-focused coalition body. So, they're kinda starting with Gaza and heading up how to have peace, right? Just like the Bible says, peace and security. And we have President Trump up in here. And so I'm just trying to, alert y'all that basically where we are with this, and that Trump is going to remain in power, a big, big, huge portion of power. So he has found out a way to stay around after his second term. So if he was robbed, so he thinks back in 2020, he's found a way, a chess move as we call it, to stay around for until he is no longer. And so the United Nations is almost every country in the world, and it's built on international law. It has formal legal authority like Security Council peacekeeping mandates, and it's designed to be the main global diplomatic system. Um, but the Board of Peace is smaller. It's a selective group of countries. They have to pay, I think, at least $1 billion pledge to be part of this or more. And it's led by Donald Trump. It's focused on specific peace and reconstruction missions, and it's not part of the UN system. So it's a more of a mission focused coalition created outside the United Nations structure. And I think that we could look at this as a competitor to United Nations in some way, where if it pretty much bypasses or replaces that authority. So I see the system, either President Trump is trying to get us out of NWO, or I don't really quite know how this would is feeling to me right now. Um, because it's new. There's 28 countries involved, and it appears that there's others that can join in, so we don't know how this is going to end up. Um, Trump did get us out of we are withdrawing from many United Nations related agencies and cutting participation and funding in others. And one thing that I found out when I was looking is that President Trump is getting us out of climate treaties. And I wondered if that would help with what we see going on in our skies. But I noticed that it's dependent upon the states that can participate with that or not. But he is getting us out of gender and population programs, human rights, and development bodies. And so when I look at this, I see President Trump having it looks like a good goal in a lot of ways, but then I don't really know. But in total, the US is pulling out of 66 international organizations, treaties, and related bodies, many which are connected to the United Nations system, which I don't think is good. So we have, like I mentioned, left the Paris Climate Agreement, but when Joe Biden came back into power after President Trump's first term, he put us back into the Paris Climate Agreement, and then President Trump got us back out. and we have also exited the World Health Organization. So, we're either leaving and it's under review, one or the other. But we've drastically cut its financial contributions to the United Nations, and at times only paid a small portion of its assessed duties. So I think President Trump is trying to form his own, and he has, body of, well, I don't know how to frame this, but it does appear that, I'll just end it with this. President Trump is staying in power. You will not see him after his second term. And that was my main point. And I'd made a point about this back in January when I had figured it out, but there was no website like this right here. I'll show you. There was no website at the time. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Right, that I'm showing you here. There was no website like this. This wasn't there yet, but it is now. And so with that, I'll just end with that. So this is how President Trump will stay in power indefinitely. I want to thank you for tuning in, for watching my video. Please make sure to share my video. Also, subscribe or follow me so that so you can stay up to date with breaking news and things that are maybe being missed by other outlets. Nobody's probably talking too much about this or focusing on this. And I wanted to make sure you understood that you will not be seeing President Trump after his term ends. And here it was why. If you're just tuning in, you want to go watch this video so you can understand where we are. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for